Hi, hola, my name is Alejandra Sepulveda and this is Public Health with Ale. If you are new to this channel, welcome and don't forget to get subscribed. If you are already a subscriber, welcome back. In today's video, I actually have a crazy story, but I will be sharing with you why I'm not attending Indiana University anymore and which program I'm attending now and basically what happened. This is gonna serve as a little recap for those that might not remember, or if you're a new subscriber, here it goes. I applied for a master's in public health programs. I applied to 3 and I got accepted to all 3. In between those was Indiana University, and I actually got accepted back in January of this year, so at the very beginning of the year. I chose Indiana at first because they showed a little bit more intent and engagement with those students that were applying or intended to apply in comparison to the other 2 programs. So let's get into the backstory of why I'm not going to that program anymore. So story time. Basically, I posted a story showing that I was attending the virtual orientation for the MPH program at IU or Indiana University. It was just like a quick picture that said orientation was great. That day was amazing. That was literally a week before classes began. Our advising session was scheduled for the following Tuesday. So basically we had an concentration advising session, so all MPH students that were doing an epidemiology concentration attended the virtual orientation. Everything was going great. We had the introductions with faculty, some students introduced themselves, everything was going fine, and then we had a little recap of like which classes are required for our concentration, how many credits. We had a couple of schedule for part-time students or full-time students, showcasing how many classes you may be able to take depending if you're part-time or full-time. After that, the speaker, the host of the meeting, walked us through the classes registration, so literally going step by step of how to register for classes for our program. So while that was happening, we were doing the same thing on our end. So like on our computer, everybody was on the website and looking for the classes that they wanted to enroll, right, for the semester. And as we're doing that, some students actually text on Zoom. They were like, well, the class is showing, they basically said that the classes showing there, some of the classes were not asynchronous. So if you might not be familiar, asynchronous means that you don't have a date and time set, meaning that you can go and see your classes without having to be like on Zoom. And synchronous means that you have a date and time to sit on Zoom. And well, one student said that, I think, or a couple of them, and I was like, what? After that, the host kept talking. He was kind of here and there looking at the messages as he could. Basically, when I got to the point of like seeing the classes, because you have to put some codes for the classes, and when I got to the point of seeing the classes that I was searching for, it was true. They had Zoom times, like an actual date and time for the class. Not all of them, but some of them did for this semester. Remember that I said that we were starting classes in like a week from that day. So from that day, it was actually 6 days because classes were supposed to start August 21st. Myself, because we had the opportunity to do so, and I asked like, do you know if the classes that are showing are the actual classes, or like is there any other option that we might not be able to see? Because I thought maybe there's one setting that we're not, like a filter we're not putting on the search, and maybe these are not all the classes. They were like, what? They were as surprised as we were all in the Zoom. Like everybody was shocked at the same time. They basically didn't know what was happening. They kind of explain in some words that they don't know like what we're talking about. Like, what do you mean that the classes are, these are the classes, like the ones showing there. And I unmute myself again and I said like, well, is there any way that those Zoom classes are going to be like recorded, so those of us that work can't stop working, we can just go and watch the recordings later without any penalty. After that, there was like a little bit of talking, like they didn't know what to say, and well, they basically suggested along the lines that I could speak to my employer and ask them for accommodation so that I can attend the classes at the time and day that they were supposed to be, that they're showing. And I was like, yeah, man, that's not happening. Students did ask the same question again. Between all that time, they were kind of continuing the meeting as they could and answering the questions as they were coming in. Story short, basically told us to email them with our concerns about the classes, asking them about the synchronicity of the classes and like what can be done about it, and if there's any solutions that we can all come up together. You might be thinking, why is it such a big issue that the classes have a date and time on Zoom? Now here's the thing. If I didn't say it before, the reason why I chose the programs that I chose from the very beginning is because they were and they are supposed to be fully online, meaning that specifically these programs were promoted and marketed as asynchronous. You didn't have to stop your life to go to class, which is what I wanted. I wanted the flexibility of not having to sit on my computer at the time that they set, but at the time that I wanted to sit at my computer and complete my assignments and do all the things that are required of me at my own time. Also, make sure to ask these questions. I have proof that I was told the classes were asynchronous. So yeah, this was a big issue, like literally a week before starting classes. I emailed them, some other students emailed them. Unfortunately, they couldn't give me an official and concrete answer as to how the asynchronicity of the entirety of my program was gonna be. They couldn't tell me basically that yes, your program would be fully asynchronous for the rest of your time here at Indiana University. So that sucks. I understand this could be fully and genuinely human error, mistake, but at the same time, this miscommunication issue that they had within the department, it was just the timing was so off. I mean, this was a week before starting classes. Are put in jeopardy once you made a decision about which school you're going, and especially when you're so close to the semester starting. And not only affecting me, it could probably be affecting other students that were in the same situation as I was. And honestly, it gets you thinking of like, oh my god, like, if they're gonna figure it out, if they're not gonna figure it out. If you accept your FAFSA, it's already a whole other beast. Like, if the financial aid was dispersed, or if you accepted scholarships, and basically so many other things that you already kind of gave the green light to, that now they're put in jeopardy because of a miscommunication issue, and basically that what is being delivered to you is not what they promised, in a sense. I was not sad, but I was very frustrated about this, since like it makes no sense that you have one thing on your website and then you have your staff say this is how the program is gonna be, and then it's not like that. So a quick little recap before giving you the resolution of the program. I did not choose the other schools because, like I said at the beginning, I didn't feel like compared to Indiana, they gave as much effort and like engagement to prospective students during the application process and all those sorts of things. In all other areas, the programs were very similar. So the quality of the program, faculty and research available with faculty, as well as the affordability of the tuition And those things were, you know, ranked around the same within the 3 programs that I applied and got accepted, but ultimately Indiana did score a little higher on that engagement with prospective students. It took me from that Tuesday that I knew that my program was not gonna be the way it was promised up until Friday morning of the same week. I had to decide what I was gonna do, and I spoke to my parents and I asked for advice, and they told me to try and ask the other schools if they will accept you for this fall semester or figure it out something for the next semester to come, like deferred acceptance or something like that. Also, I reached out to USF, University of South Florida, and that was at like 10 a.m. and they literally replied in like 20 minutes, and my application was fully reactivated in 20 minutes. I explained the shit show that happened, my circumstances, and that I really wanted to start my semester. And basically, the 3 schools that I applied to and got accepted to were my top 3. So yeah, they accepted me back. I called admissions, financial aid, all sorts of offices that you can imagine to try to figure it out, what you usually figure it out from the time you get accepted and decide that you're gonna go there, up until a few days before classes start. But I only had 3 days, so I had to figure it out quick. I tried to register for classes before 5 p.m. to avoid late fees, but anyways, that happened because it took too long for the system to to get updated, obviously. My last weekend before grad school started was about completing a summer reading assignment that was supposed to be done over the summer, like the entire summer, but I had to do it in 2 days basically, for one of the classes that I'm taking right now. It was indeed a hell of a roller coaster, but I'm very thankful that everything got solved and that USF was extremely diligent in getting me together for the start of the semester in such a short time. Now that I'm recording this after a very successful first week of grad school, I'll obviously share with you how that went on a next video. And all I can say is that I'm very thankful to USF admissions and that one advisor. If you ever in your life watch this video, thank you so much for getting me together and going above and beyond for helping me get started at USF. We have reached the end of this video, and I know you might be thinking like, wow, that's such a shit show. It was, and I know I'm thinking the same thing as you. But again, I'm beyond thankful to University of South Florida, or USF, and go Bulls. They were extremely diligent, and I'm forever thankful for them. And like I said, I had a great start of my week. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more on my next video. I hope my experience helps anybody that might be in the same situation. Hopefully it never happens to you, but we're good. We're here. Things happened. Now you can learn from me and what to do if that were to happen to you. Not that I want it to happen. Hopefully it never happens. And let me know in the comments if, how is your first week of class? And if you haven't started classes yet, let me know what is the one thing you're looking forward to do once classes begin. As always, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!